What's up, my fools? This is the Thompson Contender 357 38 Special with a silencer pistol scope, and today we're just shooting 38 specials. One of the perks of this gun, why it's like a great ranch gun, especially if you get used to using it, is you keep all your brass. Oh, that was close. We're at like 80 yards, 80 meters, so, and I'm shooting at a plate that's like the size of a dinner plate, so bear with me. Now you can see how I'm holding it. I'm not holding it, I'm holding it with a hand on each side, you see. To me, that's the best, because with the silencer on, this is actually much more difficult to shoot. The weight of that silencer makes it kind of weird. As soon as you take the silencer off, this gun is as stable as like a butt-stocked firearm. But let's see now. Oh, that was so close. Let's see if I can get one hit. Oh my god, that was... One thing I noticed with this gun is that the hammer is a little slow. So you really need to be quite skilled at shooting if you're gonna shoot one of these, and if you're gonna own one of these. This is not your beginner entry gun, okay? It's one of my favorite pistols. I've been dreaming about getting it for, like 10 years or something. I don't really have any complaints about it, other than it is really difficult to shoot. And it is quite a bit of a learning curve. And, it's very sensitive to any kind of input you put into it. So if your trigger squeeze ain't on point, if your position, how you're shooting is not on point, it's not going to be an accurate shot. So as accurate as the pistol is, it's extremely sensitive to your inconsistencies, and it can be quite frustrating to actually shoot if you're doing sort of very freehand, or if you're doing like natural positions and you're not, you don't have like a shooting table with the, if you have a shooting table with all the stuff, like a cushion here and a cushion there, yeah, easy. But the point of this firearm for me was that it's kind of like a pocket rifle, right? Something that's small, pistol sized, has good power. A 357 Magnum load with a 200 gram bullet, that's as powerful, that's more powerful than a 300 Blackout. I mean, this is a, how many pistols out there that shoot 357 Magnum have like, I think this is like an 8-inch barrel or something, that's huge. I mean, if you go and get like a lever action 357, it's gonna have a barrel that's maybe just a little bit longer than that. So you're getting a lot of bang out of that. You're getting a lot of bang for that buck, like when you're talking about individual, like powder burn of your 357. Like, there's a lot of power coming out of this when you're shooting 357s out of it. It's very efficient at getting the most out of that. Out here in the countryside, I just do silence with 357, of course. I mean, with 38 special. There we go. I had to figure out where to aim. But it's very relaxing to shoot. You're not stressed out. You're not in a rush. Although I have to admit, with a semi-automatic 22 LR iron sights with a silencer like a Woodsman or a Ruger, I shoot a lot better with those. Like, with all the same positions, all the same. So, you gotta, like what I want to do now is get a Ruger, the semi-auto, the Mark IV, whatever it's called, that has the tube kind of system, like the tube design that has the Picatinny on top, and put the exact same scope on top of there, hopefully a longer barrel and a silencer, you know. So the same exact concept as this, but with a semi-automatic 22 LR. So I'm, you know, shooting like 80, 100 meters. You know, I got pretty frustrated one day trying to figure out this gun, and I wasn't really hitting much, and I was like, what the fuck, I know I can do better than this. So I just went down and got my 22 semi-auto, and literally iron sights, and you know, it wasn't even sighted in. The shots were 1.5 meters to the right and like 10 centimeters down. Like it was way off being even sighted in. I shot once, saw where it landed, I adjusted, and I just went every ding 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 100 meters, you know. Whereas this, it was like it was jumping up left, or it was jumping here. So you know, this is not, it is a difficult gun to learn how to shoot, because you got to be really sensitive to how you support it. You know, if you have it resting on your leg, right, and you're in your right hand and it's resting on your leg here, well, what does it want to do? It wants to recoil. Oh, that was good. It wants to recoil. It wants to recoil up like this, and it'll jump rounds out of the way. So of course that's a much bigger problem with 38 specials that are traveling much slower than the 357 Magnums, because you've got that barrel time. So it can be a bit frustrating, but once you've figured out how the gun works, then it starts to hit and hit and hit. And the funny thing is, like, I went to the 150 meter range where you know, they have these cement floors that are perfectly flat, and I was laying there doing all the same stuff and hitting like shot after shot after shot with all of the 38 specials, the 367 Magnums at 150 meters, 150 yards. Everything perfect hit. Even offhand like this, I was hitting everything. Then I come out here back to the countryside. I lay down here on the grass, on the ground, and the slope, it's like all over the place, the slope. And I rested on I rested on my leg. I got a position. I'll show you guys sometime. And nothing hits. And I'm just like, man, that's frustrating. Because I was just at the 150 meter range, hitting everything. And then I'm back here in this environment, and the gun is, again, it's sensitive to these inclinations that you have. Because, you know, if it's, again, like I said, if you got mass here, you got your rest here, and you're right-handed, the gun is going to want to move in this direction. So it helps to, if you know, you gotta at least for me, I gotta make sure that there's, I don't know, for some reason, when I'm here, standing in this exact spot, when I'm shooting at this range, I gotta have a little bit of meat on the side of the gun so that it doesn't jump to that direction, because I'm shooting one-handed, rested on my leg. All right, compared to like on a table where, you know, it's on a good position. So, but look, this is like the sexiest thing on earth. It's gorgeous. I would like to have a much flatter trigger. I don't like that trigger at all. I hate that trigger, to be honest. Not the sensitivity of it, but just the fact that it's not like flat. I got a little bit bored of semi-autos, you know, shooting Kalashnikovs and AR-15s. Like, AR-15s are not that fun, you know. They're not really that fun. And I already have like a bunch of national medals in practical shooting, so I'm not really in a rush to... I'm not really in a rush to get better at using those guns, because, well, they're pretty easy to use, and once you know, if you, I don't know. I think this is fun because it's significantly more difficult, and it's like a pocket sniper. Once you learn to master this, it kind of opens up some doors. Especially, you know, it's a 357. You can practice learning how to do some home reloads. Looks like I might have a problem with the gun, because everything is shooting really badly to the left, and that wasn't the case at the shooting range. Yeah, everything is going far left. I must have fucked something up with the scope or something, because I was hitting like everything at 150 and this is like half the range. Yeah, weird. Very strange, but that's what I think. That's the funny thing about this gun, is that it is kind of frustrating to shoot, and you can, most of the time it's not actually like relaxing. Like if you want to lay on your back, everything is perfect. It's more stable than a freaking sniper rifle, and you're shooting, everything is, you know, front sight, trigger squeeze, all this kind of stuff, and it's just shooting all over the place. Super annoying. And then you go and get your semi-automatic, you know, 22 Colt Woodsman that's not even sighted in. It shoots 1.5 meters off the target, and you hit everything, every single shot with iron sights. So it can be extremely frustrating to shoot this. Again, it's about mastering the fundamentals of actual pistol shooting. Like, that's one thing that people don't understand about pistols, is that like you can master all those principles pretty well with semi-autos and 1911s, but then you go and pick something up like this, and it's like starting from scratch. So, you know, of course, if you go to the range, you know, it's a sanitized environment, so to speak, and you got all your cushions and your bells and whistles to keep it stable. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. But when you're in a real world, you know, if this is where you train, and you got inclination angles, you got rocks, you got all this kind of stuff, it's much more difficult to master. So what I'd like to have, what I'd like to see, what I think I'd like to do, is I get the exact same scope on top of this one. So I got 2 scopes, and for different settings, or a red dot here that's got a different setting, right? So, you know, this would be for like prone shooting and different types of positions that I have when I'm in inorganic positions, or I guess organic positions, and then the sort of red dot on top. So I feel like this particular gun needs 2 aiming systems on it in order to get the most out of it. But again, when you don't have a buttstock on something like this, you are opening up a lot of difficulty for yourself, especially with this kind of weight on the front. So yeah, I'll do one last shot, just as a quick. Oh my god, that was so close. Everything is shooting far left for some reason today. It could just be the ammo. That's one thing I noticed. It's pretty sensitive to ammo, actually. Like, not just ammo, but the bullet shape. Some bullets, they just fucking fly out all over the place, and then some of them they're perfect accuracy. So I've been testing like I've tested like 20 different batches, and there was a couple of them where it was absurd the kind of spread that they would have. One more shot. See if I can get a ding before the video ends. There we go. Beautiful. There we have it. So this is a gun that takes time to master, and once you do, it's a hell of a lot of fun to shoot. But it does come with a lot of frustration. It will come with a lot of frustration. So if you're not very skilled at shooting, I suggest sticking with like a Ruger 22 LR semi-auto with a scope like this, and practicing with that first before you move up to this kind of stuff, because it can be a bit frustrating to shoot. But again, it's all about learning, and if you learn to master something that's super difficult, it'll transfer into every other gun, you know? So you guys have fun. I love this gun. It's absolutely wonderful. I fucking love it to bits. And it is a difficult one to learn, and it can be frustrating, but I think it's worth every penny. You guys have a wonderful day.